They didn't just perform in New York City, they took over. The lights, the screens, the energy, none of it felt real. But the biggest surprise wasn't the crowd. It wasn't even the guest appearances. It was Jisoo. And what happened on that stage changed everything fans thought they knew about her. Before we dive into what made this moment so powerful, take a second to tap that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't yet, because we're about to uncover the layers behind BLACKPINK's NYC takeover and why Jisoo is at the center of the global conversation. From the moment the first beat dropped inside MetLife Stadium, the atmosphere shifted. This wasn't just a concert. It felt like a cultural summit, a symbolic passing of the torch, with BLACKPINK standing tall as global music leaders. Fans from over 70 countries filled the arena, waving light sticks in a sea of pink that glowed brighter than the New York skyline. But if you watched closely, the camera kept returning to one person. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. Jisoo. The show opened with Pink Venom, and while each member brought their signature energy, Jisoo's presence was electric in a way we hadn't seen before. There was something intentional about how the lighting followed her, how her solo lines hit harder, how her dance breaks were just a little bit longer, a little more front and center. It wasn't just performance, it was statement. Was this BLACKPINK announcing a new era with Jisoo in a more central role? Let's rewind. Leading up to the NYC concert, fans noticed something strange. On social media, Jisoo's rehearsal clips were being pushed more than usual. Behind-the-scenes footage showed her working intensely, longer hours, solo sessions with choreographers, separate vocal coaching. YG Entertainment didn't say anything officially, but the signs were there. Whispers started to circulate. Is Jisoo preparing something big? Still, no one could have predicted this. Midway through the concert, the tempo dropped. The massive LED screens flashed white. Silence. And then, Jisoo emerged alone, dressed in a completely different outfit, drenched in a moody spotlight. The crowd went silent. No music. Just her voice. Raw. Vulnerable. Powerful. She sang a completely new arrangement of Flower, stripped down, reimagined, emotional. People cried. Literally cried. And not just blinks. Even casual attendees, industry professionals, and media personalities in the VIP section were visibly stunned. This wasn't just a performance. It was a reveal. At that moment, Jisoo wasn't just the visual. She wasn't just 1/4 of BLACKPINK. She was commanding the entire narrative. The energy shifted. The rest of the concert subtly revolved around her performance. Camera work adjusted. Transitions gave her more central focus. And the crowd noticed. Here's the kicker. Sources close to the production team revealed that Jisoo personally requested changes to the show structure. She wanted her solo to carry more emotional weight. Not just as a moment, but as a message. A statement of artistic identity. And it worked. Behind the scenes, this was more than a concert. BLACKPINK had partnered with several international brands and media outlets to create a moment that would trend globally. Every performance was timed to go live across various platforms, Weverse, YouTube, even TikTok highlights, all synced within minutes of each set ending. The plan? Maximum impact. And guess whose clips consistently outperformed the others? You guessed it. Jisoo. Her solo clip from NYC surpassed 10 million views in just 18 hours. Fans dissected every frame, her expressions, her body language, even the way she held the microphone. Theories exploded online. Is this the beginning of a Jisoo-led subunit? Will she lead the next BLACKPINK comeback? Is a second solo album coming? Now here's something most fans don't know. Earlier this year, internal industry leaks hinted that YG had been re-evaluating the group's brand strategy. While Lisa dominates with dance, Rose with vocals, and Jennie with charisma, the market analysis reportedly showed that Jisoo's cross-demographic appeal was skyrocketing. Not just in Korea or Southeast Asia, but in Latin America, Europe, and even non-K-pop dominated areas of the US. She wasn't just trending. She was resonating, and that brings us back to New York. Why there? Why that concert? Because NYC is a litmus test. It's where brands, agencies, and global music heads gathered to scout not just talent, but star power. And Jisoo walked out of that arena not just as a performer, but as a force. One who can command attention, drive emotion, and shape the direction of the world's biggest girl group. Still watching? Good. Because what happens next is going to make all of this even bigger. Midway through the after party at an undisclosed rooftop venue in Manhattan, a photo surfaced online, Jisoo speaking with a senior executive from a major US film studio. Not posing. Speaking. Eyewitnesses described the conversation as focused and serious, with Jisoo doing most of the talking. Hours later, another leak, this time from a verified entertainment journalist, claimed Jisoo had been approached for a leading role in a high-budget international project. Not a cameo. Not a K-drama crossover. A leading role. If true, this could mark a monumental shift, not just for her, but for K-pop idols in general. The idea that an artist could balance world tours, solo music, and international cinema? It's ambitious. But if anyone could do it, wouldn't it be the one who just captivated 60,000 people in silence with a single voice? That voice wasn't screaming. It wasn't belting. It was telling. Telling a story. One of growth. Of transformation. Of intention. Let's take a step back. Why is this so important? Because Jisoo's journey has always been underestimated. From debut, she was labeled the visual, often overlooked in discussions of technical skill or artistic depth. But NYC proved that she's been building something behind the scenes. Slowly. Quietly. Purposefully. And now? She's here. She's ready. And the world is watching. The payoff: within 72 hours of the NYC concert, Jisoo's name was trending in over 40 countries. Her Instagram follower count surged by over 500,000. And global media outlets, from Rolling Stone to Vogue, ran editorials titled Jisoo, The Quiet Storm of Blackpink and Why Jisoo Stole the Show in NYC. This wasn't luck. This wasn't a fluke. This was a masterclass in long-game stardom. So what happens now? Blackpink will continue their world tour. More cities, more performances. But things feel different now. Fans are seeing it. The media is seeing it. And most importantly, she knows it. Jisoo isn't stepping into the spotlight. She's expanding it. Making room for nuance, for emotion, for something deeper than stage presence. And if you think this is the peak, just wait, because as whispers of a solo world showcase begin to surface, and as streaming numbers keep climbing, it's becoming clear, Jisoo didn't just shine in New York City, she owned it. Still here? Now's the time. Hit that like if Jisoo's solo gave you chills. Comment your favorite moment from the NYC concert, because there were so many. And subscribe if you want the latest, real-time insights into what's coming next for Jisoo, Blackpink, and the entire world of K-pop. This story isn't over. In fact, it's just getting started, and if you thought this was just a magical one-night moment never to be repeated, think again. Because the signs of what's coming next are already surfacing. In a brief post-concert interview, Jisoo said something that left fans frozen. This is just the beginning. The words were simple, but her tone was deliberate. Meaningful. And it didn't take long before fans started piecing together the clues. Could this mean a solo comeback? A full-length album? Or even a transition into global acting? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is crystal clear: Jisoo is no longer standing in the background of the stage. She's building a stage of her own. What's even more compelling? The reactions from her fellow Blackpink members. In several candid backstage clips, you could see Lisa, Rose, and Jennie cheering her on with genuine pride. No awkwardness. No rivalry. Just respect. That's not just a group, it's a team. And right now, one of their own is ascending into a new peak of her career, bigger than anything she, or we, have seen before, and we're all lucky enough to witness history being written.